Hello, HalfPint here, and I just wanted to say real quick, if you've been enjoying my content, please remember to subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and follow me on Twitch so you can always catch us when we're live and see more content. Also, if you are new here, welcome in, and if you're enjoying the video, please remember to like it because it helps me out a lot. I also post funny clips and other things on TikTok. All the links are in the description below, and thanks again. Now let's get into the video. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at the most evil TikTok scam that Mutahar has ever seen. I couldn't remember his name for a second. I had to read it. Ordinary gamer. So we're gonna take a look at this, see what's going on. If I were to take a guess, it's either live streaming or crypto crap. So let's see what's going on here.
Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today we're going to be diving into a pretty depraved scam, ladies and gentlemen. Now I know a couple, I would say a month or two ago, I looked at one of the darkest rabbit holes on YouTube, but I think this is probably the most evil scam that I've ever seen, period. Now this is something that's centralized on TikTok, but to understand just what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, this is a scam that's not as clear-cut as one would imagine. So let me just get right into the nitty-gritty of it. So obviously, some of you may know one of the longest running conflicts in the world, which is the Syrian civil war. It's a civil war that's been happening since 2011 amongst numerous insurgents, governmental agencies.
Yeah, I remember when this all started happening when I was in high school and watching the daily coverage of it on CNN Student News in school.
And proxy agencies around. And it really shows no sign of actually stopping. Tons of people have been displaced, tons of actual infrastructure in parts of the country are completely gone, and it's, again, a war that has had so many peace talks that you could make an entire season of YouTube videos on it, but there is no sign of it actually stopping. Because of the Syrian civil war, a lot of people have been displaced, and a lot of people are living in refugee camps. So, of course, TikTok has allowed tons of people, like many social media platforms, to live stream themselves. Now, it seems as though a few people from these actual displaced camps are now live streaming, actually requesting money, begging for it on the internet. And in some of these videos, in order to garner sympathy, you actually have what appears to be children with IV drips allegedly connected to them, and the same parent or multiple other people constantly begging for money. So let's go over a few videos over here. Now this one comes from WeClon79, which is a channel that was rather interesting for me because it was the one that constantly kept on popping up. But of course, if you look closely into this video, alright, this is some archives from the actual community. You've got people basically begging for money and asking for some form of help, gifts on TikTok, something, because of these children that have been busted, because of these children that are sick. Now, of course, in other capacities, you also have the same children, the same or different parents in this case.
How do they, okay, so I'm wondering, how do we know that this stuff is fake? I'm sure some of it's fake, undoubtedly, because TikTok, humanity, views, updates, everything we know about people clout chasing on the internet and chasing money on the internet, and also the problem a lot of people seem to have with not being able to differentiate or give a shit about the difference between fame versus infamy. But what is going on with TikTok? Why are such horrible things happening on TikTok? Why are people lying about such horrible things on TikTok? What does this say about us? I don't know, like, what does that mean? What does that mean that people are willing to pretend to be refugees for money? I mean, I guess it kind of speaks to how desperate people are for money, but also for fame. It speaks to how easily people will follow trends. You're not wrong about that. Like, I feel like it speaks to so much, but like, holy shit. I kind of wish it was crypto.
It's just standing over there, begging and asking for prayers with, again, IV drips connected. Again, the same framework exists no matter what. You have the parent asking for money, and you have one child who's just sort of laying there with, again, an alleged IV drip connected. Then, of course, you also have children laying over there with IV
We'll talk if you're cute, and then they just never talk, and it's just based on people, like, commenting, trying to, like, oh, am I cute enough to get this person to talk? That is crazy. Sometimes they talk. That is crazy.
Drips constantly connected again, and the same parent asking for money. So, of course, in one case, if you saw one person doing this, it would be, okay, maybe this is somebody who desperately needs money.
Who gives a shit if some random person on TikTok I don't know thinks I'm cute? Like, what the fuck? I don't even understand giving a shit about that. It's because other people see them care, and like now it seems like you're validated. Like, this person called me cute, and 3,000 other people saw it. Like, who fucking cares? No one clicked on your profile.
Starts to get really weird is when you look at the actual channel name. So, for instance, this one is Fam Quan. All right, so you see this person standing over here with this exact same brick wall. Now, again, in this other screenshot that I have, where you have WeClon79, so a totally different channel, with the same person, it seems, the same background, and the same kid with IV drips. The point is, all right, people jump in. At this point, they have around 400-something live viewers, and people are constantly sending them roses, gifts, some form of in-app purchases to this user account.
I've really never understood TikTok's weird system of donation things, stickers.
So, of course, it seems as if these are looped videos, or just pre-recorded videos where the person is just sitting there begging for money, occasionally looking at the chat, making vague references. And then, of course, people are just sending in money because they believe that these children are actually really harmed, or these children need...
I fuck with TikTok a little, not nearly as much as I used to. I've definitely only been scrolling through YouTube Shorts recently, just because, I don't know, I like them. But uh TikTok's one of those places, it's kind of like Reddit. That's how I explain it to a lot of people. There are so many, it's like YouTube also. There's so many holes of content, so many pits of culture, so many different parts of the world coming to clash together, different age groups coming to clash together, that like there are so many pockets. I am only aware of a drop in the pond, like TikTok, the way its algorithm works in a lot of ways, it's a reflection of you. It can be. Whatever you're liking, whatever you're spending your time watching, it's going to give you more of. So obviously my drop in the pond is geared toward me, and it's a lot of stuff I like stand-up comedy or leftist commentary, or, you know, a fair amount of like, I don't know, just like weird stories and funny things. I don't know, weird stuff. But I'm so ignorant to a lot of the weirder trends on TikTok, because I feel like a lot of my page isn't even really trendy. It's like a lot of it is stand-up comedy and like leftist criticizing crap. There's not really trends there. The only trend I could really identify there is like from a news standpoint, news is kind of trendy, right? Like I see TikToks that are relevant to the week's stories. That's like the closest I feel like my TikTok gets to like trends. And then a lot of music. I've actually found a lot of music artists from TikTok. And I know people like lump the TikTok music into its own like little genre, kind of like YouTube music. But there are plenty of actual, real, talented artists on TikTok, and they're amazing. And I fucking love TikTok for showing me that stuff. Movie clip rabbit hole too. Oh, damn, that's so true. Or just TV show clip rabbit hole. And then I always feel so stupid because I'm like, I'm literally just using TikTok to rewatch The Office for the billionth time. What the fuck is wrong with me?
This money in order to survive, okay? Because they are medically afflicted with something terrible.
It gets
even worse because
I've never been big on watching live streams on TikTok though. I'm not a huge fan of vertical live streaming personally. It's just, I don't really like watching streams that way. It's half the reason I really enjoy having a foldable phone, is because if I am watching a stream on my phone, I can get like a stand and like hold it up like this. You know, no one would watch 1 minute clips of a TV show at a time. Oh yeah? Give me a few decades to work on their attention span. I'll be right back.
Other channels that are significantly larger with around what, like 198,000 something likes, and it appears like 7.8 thousand live viewers, right? Of course, different channels, you got Mish 89 something something, but of course if you look really carefully over here, it's the same dad we saw last time on the
That is definitely the same dad.
All right, and of course people here on TikTok are exposing it. You have one child, IV drip, and of course just
damn, people are saying like stop gifting. I've actually seen that shit in like as I'm scrolling through lives, the few times I have, where like people were like building a house of cards or like clicking a counter or like playing Flappy Bird, and everyone's like, guys, stop donating. This is literally a pre-recorded video. Sometimes they can even like, they fuck up and they even leave like the like this. Like you could see like the fact that it's like working its way through a video, and people still donate. Unless it's a video of them donating, and maybe that's supposed to trick more people into donating. Damn, how deep does this go? I just wrinkled my own brain.
Constantly. Of course, it even gets further because you'll have other parents as well too doing the same thing. It's always the dad, one sick child, and of course the begging for money. All right, that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Holy shit.
Here's another video of the same type of scammers. You've got one kid, IV bag over here, and of course the dad over here just begging and praying like, thank you Allah, please help us, please give us some blessings. That's pretty much what you got going on. And of course, these channels all seem to be working. At the end of the day, these scams wouldn't be happening if there wasn't actual money being exchanged.
Yeah, and more people wouldn't be turning to it if it wasn't a verified source of income.
So the reason I referenced the Syrian civil war earlier was because that was the one commonality I found when looking into this. I thought maybe it was one scammer, but then when it came out to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scammers, it was wild. Now you might be like, Muda, you're pretty heavy-handed on the scammer thing. How can you prove it? Well, the reality of it is that when you look at what's going on and what's actually behind the scenes, these parents and these kids aren't actually even the guilty ones in this scenario. It really seems like this has become an entire industry in Syria, or at least in these refugee camps, where to make a few bucks, we're now propping up how ill some of these children are and how destitute some of these families are in order for the middlemen and TikTok as a company to gain a shit ton of profits off of what is a very, very depressing situation.
Oh my God.
So, to one looking carefully into this scenario, if you actually look very quick, so one of the things that we found were a BBC actual investigation. They actually went down to look into some of these
Holy
Syrian camps
shit.
as well. So for instance, according to the BBC, who gave $106 worth of gifts or tips or super chats, whatever you may believe, $33 was actually remaining when it was taken away from TikTok's massive share. Now, of course, beyond that massive share being taken away, you had somewhere around 10% taken away from the local money transfer shop. So, for instance, when US dollars get sent over to Syria, they have to convert the USD into their applicable currency or whatever currency they need in order to actually buy the things they have.
And 10% of the 33 is taken there too?
And then, of course, you've also got the middlemen agencies, who are one of the real scumbags provided. So what these people are effectively live streaming guilds. Okay, if you haven't heard of what a live streaming guild is, there's a pretty good research article about the Zhibogonghui, which is actually China's version of live streaming guilds, where you actually have people who are complete manipulation experts. And what they effectively are algorithmic experts in the scenario. So they actually understand how they can optimize a live streamer's performance according to algorithmic parameters that platforms end up revealing. So basically SEO people on crack cocaine. These people are able to actually look into the algorithm, how it works, how various factors feed into the delivery of your content to various individuals. So what these people do is they find destitute families, they basically provide them cell phones, a TikTok account, the various things to get going, and they charge a small fee, all right, or in this case, a substantially larger fee than what it appears that the money transfer areas do, because they rent out the phones and services, and the family, out of that $106 initially, only ends up getting somewhere around $19.31.
Jesus
in order to feed
Christ!
off. And that's with the
Is this supposed to be a favor to these people? Like, is this TikTok trying to say, like, here, we're going to help shed some light on the situation and get you some income? Because if they're trying to sell us that disgusting, flawed, predatory, and gross, and if you're aware of the situation, why don't you just help them? Holy fuck, ByteDance.
Generosity of the BBC investigators in the situation. In reality, they're getting far less than $19. In fact, in some cases, I've seen that they're getting far less than $10 for this scenario.
Jesus.
So the real people, it seems, that are profiting off of this appears to be
TikTok in the middleman.
Charging a cut, which is standard for any massive platform. YouTube will do it with super chats. Twitch will do it with their bit system, but TikTok will take a percentage. And then, of course, you've also got these organizations who claim, by the way, to be working with TikTok. Hamid says he uses TikTok to help families make a living. He pays them most of the profits minus his running costs. Like the other middlemen, Hamid says he was supported by live agencies in China who work directly with TikTok. Again, like I was telling you, the live streaming guilds. They help us if we have any problems with the app. They unlock blocked accounts. We give them the name of the page, the profile picture, and they open the account. Agencies like this, known as live...
Do they look into why it was blocked? Ever?
Streaming guilds are based all around the world, are contracted by TikTok to help content producers produce more appealing live streams. TikTok pays them a commission according to the duration of live streams and the value of the gifts received, as these agencies had told the BBC. Now, if this is the case, and of course TikTok is deeply committed to minor safety, this content directly goes against whatever is allowed on their platform. Now, I have to stress for the record, a lot of these platforms, a lot of these live streams do get taken down after a certain amount of reports. But the fact that we are even letting this go on when TikTok clearly can combat this in a much better way is questionable.
Yeah, it sounds like they're borderline responsible for this shit happening.
TikTok writes, "We are deeply committed to protecting the safety of minors on our platform. TikTok defines the minor as any person under the age of 18. We prohibit activities that perpetuate the abuse, harm, endangerment, or exploitation of..."
This sounds exactly like exploitations of not just minors who are actually sick and, you know, refugees from the Syrian civil war, but also like exploitation of just refugees, adult refugees, which Let's just talk about that phrase for a second. Exploitation of refugees. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let that one sink in. That's fucking gross.
Of minors on TikTok. Any content, including animation or digitally created or manipulated media that depicts abuse or exploitation, forget about it. You literally just said exploitation of minors, right? How is this not the actual exploitation of children who are just sort of put up
and refugees,
as actual literal props with IV drips that allegedly are probably in them or not? I'm going to wager that they aren't, are used to gate and solicit gifts and donations from people around the world who don't really know any better. Now, this is why I believe this is actually the definition of a scam, all right? You've literally got marketing agencies who find bereaved families and pimp them out internationally, all over the world, so they can harvest a few pity bucks off of them. And the family, who can draw in hundreds of dollars sometimes, is getting maybe, and I mean maybe, somewhere around 18% of that if they are actually lucky. It's a wild, wild world we live in, but it's unfortunately a grim reality of what I've been seeing. Now, I've been seeing this kind of float under the radar. I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about it, but for me, it was a baffling thing to witness. This might be one of the most evil scams that I've seen exist.
Yeah, you know, like, that's kind of what I was getting at with the whole phrase of exploiting refugees. That is, like, some of the grossest, that's, like, probably one of the grossest phrases I've ever said in my life. That was talking about a real thing. Like, what a horrifying... I don't know. Jesus Christ. And to not even make sure they're ending up with at least half the money to at least improve their situation. But obviously, from a capitalistic standpoint, you don't necessarily want that. Because if these people's situations improve, if they start to seem like they're doing all right, people are less likely to make money. And it's probably way more cost effective to just use the same refugees over and over again than it is to try and hunt down more destitute families. And it's disgusting that people are looking at that from a bottom dollar standpoint. It's disgusting that people with money and means are trying to use some of that money and means to find destitute people, not to help them, but to give them means to a path forward in a very malicious way and almost trap them in a system, dude. That's like... God damn. Bit of a sad Sunday.
Got problems with Syria and the fact that they've been in a decade-plus long war, but now the people that are bereaved, this is the only option they have to actually make money. It's why I'm not going so hard against those parents who are using their children to scam. It's not entirely even their fault.
They're probably also desperate,
to make money.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, it seems as though big social media and a few of these scumbag middlemen, alongside China's live streaming guilds, have found a way to corner the market and create what is, in fact, one of the most depressing commodities on the face of the earth. People think they're giving money to a charitable cause, when in reality, most of this money is just going into the hands and pockets of actual scumbag degenerates.
That's
and now I'm sure these scumbags will say, hey, we're providing an opportunity to the family out there. Yes, you are providing an opportunity at a glorious 80% something markup. It's a truly fucked endeavor to witness.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it
yeah. That is the most... I don't know. Like, that's like a Great Depression era mentality. Just like, oh, we give them quarters, better than nothing. You know, you take the pay or you go away. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, oh my God. How can you even look yourself in the goddamn mirror and even pretend that you're doing anything good for anyone and not just being extremely predatory towards some of the most vulnerable people you are able to find? Like, you're literally spending money to find desperate people to take advantage of.
As a reality. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, is all I really have to bring up with one of the most evil scams that I've seen floating around on the internet. TikTok is responsible for letting this fester as long as it has. And if it's true, according to these investigations and reports, that they've actually been working with live streaming guilds and middlemen agencies, then everyone here is really complicit in letting this fester. I think at the end of the day, the real question for me was, are these children safe? And as long as these scumbags constantly perpetuate this kind of nonsense, these kids are never going to be safe.
They're never going to be safe from being exploited. I just hope... fuck, dude. I mean, fuck. How do you get to a point where, like, that's what I'm saying, you know? Like, I mean, they're never going to be safe from being exploited, but I was about to say, like, I just hope they're being fed and not being, like, physically abused or emotionally abused. But then I realized, like, you can't really exploit a child without inevitably having some sort of emotional or mental abuse there. So it's just an inherently unsafe place for them, and an inherently traumatizing place, because it's not a normal existence. It's not normal to raise children under circumstances like that. Holy shit, yeah, that needs to get shut down fast.
These parents are never actually going to be safe either. They're going to be used and just paraded around as tools to generate massive profits for these middlemen agencies and even TikTok. And it's disgusting. If you ever come across stuff like this, do not donate, period. Because the more you donate, the more money you give,
the more justified
these kids are going to be laying there with fake IV drips stuck into their arms. And you know what? If these IV drips are real, if everything is absolutely kosher and 100%, I would love to see the proof surrounding it. But until then, given the actual economics of the situation, it is completely predatory to the family around it.
Not only that, there's always a more direct way to give, you know, than TikTok. Are you kidding me? Like, you could, like, give to a actual GoFundMe, an actual charity, you know, like, there are so many better places I can think to give than just one person on TikTok. It was just a little research. You can, like, usually find a mostly reputable charity with low overhead, you know.
And it is one of the most evil scam rabbit holes that I've ever actually seen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it.
Dislike it if you dislike it. Nice, I like that. That was the bottom of the barrel on TikTok, I think. I don't know. That's the bottomest bottom I've ever hit or seen. I mean, what do you say other than, like, just hoping that this fucking stops? Like, it looks like there's already a decent amount of attention on it. The BBC's already reported. You know how they say some people just, like, just want to watch the world burn? Some people just want to make money, and they don't care how. And some of the worst things in our world, I feel like, come back to that. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitch to join us live, like and subscribe, and I will catch you later.